we need to provide the same experience customers know from their private life and need to transform that into business life. IoT, I think it's a kind of technical word for a lot of people, but I believe IoT is the basis of, or needs to be the basis of success for many, many industrial and manufacturing companies. IoT enables us to connect to our industrial assets, our presses at a customer site, and that helps us to understand what's going on at a customer site in a way, way better way. And that helps, in addition, us to follow our approach to deliver proactive services, to be the trusted advisor of our customers, and provide additional service around our core product, the presses and the post-press equipment we are selling successfully to our customers. So IoT and the resulting data out of it enables us to create new business models, new service offerings towards our customers, helping us to be more successful, and even more important, helping our customers to be more successful, be profitable, and maybe even differentiate themselves from their competition. Big data is the source, I would say, of everything we are doing. Of course, you can do analysis and service, you can fulfill service tasks or service calls based on single data out of one press. But if we talk about, let's say, a topic like industrial analytics or predictive maintenance, you need to have big data, because what's happening on a single press might be not valid on a global scale. So having big data helps you to understand way better what's going on for certain models, for certain press formats, for certain applications, or even helps you to understand what's going on in the market. So since we have all the data from the market, we do see shifts in the market. We do see what regions are developing into what direction. We do see shifts in applications and so on, and that helps us as well to align or to focus our company on what's most important for the market as well for our customers. Security is a topic we are focused on, but provided through our platform where we have built all our services on. So since we didn't custom build the applications, but we picked very wisely more than 10 years ago a professional and the leading platform for applications, in our case at Salesforce. And Salesforce, again, is not a CRM system anymore. Very early we figured out that Salesforce will be our platform, our success, our platform of innovation. And based on that single platform, we can, besides all the classical CRM applications, we can build additional services towards our customers. So security is part of that platform. Trust is one of the core values of the provider of this platform. So of course we have to think wisely how we design applications, and we have to make sure that certain data is accessible only to certain people, but the core of it is delivered by the platform. And that's actually the beauty of real cloud platforms, that you as a business can focus on the business values generating out of the platform. You don't have to deal about scalability, you don't have to deal about security, about connectivity. That's delivered by the cloud application. So it's a huge benefit, and I strongly believe without cloud applications, or without using cloud applications, you can't be successful in today's times. Being a digitalization evangelist, that means, first of all, for me, sharing my passion for the technology and for the new ways of making business with customers, about putting the customer at the center of our universe, sharing that within our universe, within our Koenig & Bauer universe, first of all, but as well towards our customers. And I think it's very important that we all share this passion, internally as well to customers. And that's why, for instance, in 2018 and 2019, we had open houses just focused on digitalization. And these events weren't just showing technology, but what we really tried to do is inspiring people, sharing our passion and getting emotions across to our customers to understand what we are really kind of shooting for, our roadmap, the service we are delivering, and that really customers are open and opening up their minds towards new technology, new ways of doing business, towards new business models and so on. So, and that's why I see my role. It's technology, but technology is not the hard part anymore. I think it's just available, you know. I believe it's combination. Digitalization and digital business transformation is not about effectivity only, and especially not effectivity internally. That's the wrong approach. But it's about providing a new customer experience first of all. And the customer experience, that is driven by, as you mentioned, the Facebooks and whatever of the world. And the user experience, these kind of platforms, Google, Apple, with the iTunes universe, with the user customer experience, these kind of platforms provide to everybody pretty much in their private life. But that changes as well the kinds of expectations customers now having for the business relationships they are into. Our understanding and our digital mindset is towards we need to provide the same experience customers know from their private life and need to transform that into business life. Things need to be as easy to understand as possible. If you talk about user interface of applications, it in no way should be menus over menus and sub-level menus. It has to be operatable without long manuals. People have to look into the application, into the solution, and I understand how that works. It has to be kind of self-explaining. And that's part of that story. Sometimes it's hard, especially for engineering-driven companies, but that's part of the passion I'm trying to bring into the company, that we have to change the mindset and we have to think differently and that we have to make things easy to digest. And this way we fulfill probably in a way better way customer expectations, which again are driven by the experience everybody of us is experienced in the private life. So applications we all know from our private life, they really drive what we're doing in business. Absolutely, and it has changed already. So every customer is on a kind of customer journey. So as we talked about the digital business transformation, for us is a journey. It had probably a starting point, but is there an end point? Really not sure about this. And the same for customers. The first contact point with the brand of Koenig & Bauer, we have at the first step within the customer journey, but then it develops further. And customers do expect that we provide them with information, with useful and helpful information along the customer journey. And of course, it needs to be a kind of one-on-one communication we are setting up and providing information to. So the kind of information we are providing towards our customer needs to be different, let's say, in the phase of when the customer does the evaluation of the equipment available on the market and does a buying decision, towards or compared to when the press is up and running or maybe after warranty. So the information customers are expecting is really kind of tailor-made to each specific customer's point within his customer journey. Heavily. When we did our brand relaunch back in 2017, it wasn't just a brand relaunch. We really did some intense research on our customers, how we are seen in the market. We did some intense research with the trade press, with other people from the industry. How is Koenig & Bauer seen? Where's the market going? Where do we see room for improvement for Koenig & Bauer or for Koenig & Bauer Sheetfed? And that influenced the kind of design of the brand, the design of the presses with the brand new user interface or operational concept. And as well influence, of course, the hardware products and as well the software products we are delivering. I do see that our customers probably need to educate more toward their customer, what's possible, and maybe that's something we need to be focused as well more in the future. Their applications, let's say, agency have no clue about. Is it in packaging or is it in the commercial market? Agency tend to, or brands tend to do, let's be a bit provocative as well, tend to do things they have always done in the past, but they have no understanding and no clue what's possible today. If you think about the beautiful finishing applications, possibilities agencies or brands can do with our presses, especially with special configurations, I think that would open up total new markets for the customer, but as well for the brand, in order to differentiate, and here we are again, to differentiate themselves from their competition. Because what's important, let's take the advantage of going into a grocery store. If you go there and see multiple boxes of cosmetics, what's the differentiation for the brand? It's only the folding carton, right? So brands try to be different. Brands try to come up with innovative solutions for the first touch point with the brand in the shelves, customer journey again, first touch point. And as long as they have a good understanding what's going on in the market, what technology is available, what finishing applications are available, they can kind of start thinking out of the box and come up with own and new creative ways of strengthening a brand or positioning a brand within all the other brands. So there's definitely room for improvement for the market, for our customers. I think the opportunities are really endless, especially with the technologies or the speed of technologies developing.